The sea, a vital source of livelihood for many, sustains industries and livelihoods worldwide. Its vastness has drawn fishermen, divers, and enthusiasts into its embrace. Yet, as the balance between humans and the deep-sea inhabitants is disrupted, a haunting query arises. What unfolds when these once harmonious coexistences transform and the creatures of the depths turn their predatory instincts towards men? This is Sharks Beware. Roberto Mendoza, Javier Cruz, Eduardo Ramirez, and Juan Ortiz from Baja California share a unique livelihood as both deep-sea divers and scallop fishermen. Their activities center around the bountiful waters of the Gulf of California, where they dive to collect scallops that sustain their way of life. This choice of location is driven by two key factors: the remarkable richness of scallop populations and the exceptional safety it offers. The Gulf of California stands as a haven for scallops, with its waters teeming with these mollusks. This abundance forms the cornerstone of Roberto, Javier, Eduardo, and Juan's occupation, providing them with a reliable source of income. The fertile waters have granted them the opportunity to cultivate their craft and maintain their traditional way of life. Additionally, the Gulf of California offers an uncommon degree of safety, enhancing the appeal of the area for this group of divers and fishermen. While the deep sea can be fraught with uncertainties, the Gulf's unique conditions mitigate certain risks. Notably, the sightings of great white sharks, often a concern for those navigating such waters, are a rarity in these parts. This lends an extra layer of security to their endeavors, allowing them to focus on their work with a sense of reassurance. This was not different for Roberto, Javier, Eduardo, and Juan. Clad in their black wetsuits, the group readied their gear before plunging into the frigid depths of the Sea of Cortez. Their synchronized descent began with Juan taking the lead, followed by Javier, then Roberto, and finally Eduardo. As they submerged, their mission unfolded: to navigate the underwater expanse in pursuit of the coveted scallops. Progressing through the sea's murky depths, they combed the ocean floor in search of their valuable quarry. Around 20 minutes had elapsed since they submerged when a flicker of movement caught Juan's attention from the edge of his vision. A disconcerting sensation washed over him as he thought he discerned the outline of a colossal silhouette, a presence that stirred the depths. With a swift turn to confront this enigmatic sight, Juan found nothing but the undulating expanses of the sea. The momentary unease dissipated as quickly as it had come, and he chose to dismiss it, attributing the fleeting image to the play of light and shadows. Reassured, he refocused on his task, resuming the meticulous gathering of scallops alongside his companions. After successfully filling his container, Roberto took the initiative and signaled to his fellow divers that he was making his ascent towards the boat. Approaching the vessel, he had covered about 10 meters of the distance when, without warning, a massive form materialized from the shadows. A formidable 12-foot great white shark. With startling suddenness, the predator lunged toward Roberto with deadly intent. The heart-stopping moment was accompanied by a sickening thud, followed by the distinct sound of bone crunching, as the shark's powerful jaws closed around Roberto's torso. In a twist of fortune, the lead vest Roberto was wearing provided a measure of defense against the predator's lethal assault. The protective layer mitigated the force of the shark's bite, buying precious moments in that dire situation. As the shark thrashed violently, Roberto became a pawn in its aquatic struggle. However, the creature's instincts quickly led it to a realization: the lead vest was not yielding as easily as its usual prey. Recognizing the futility of its efforts, the great white shark released its grip on Roberto. Despite the protective vest Roberto was wearing, his condition remained dire, evident from the disconcerting tinge of red spreading around his body, a disheartening indication that the shark's initial bite had caused intense bleeding. The group clung to a glimmer of hope, wishing fervently that the shark's aggression had been mere curiosity, causing it to withdraw after its first assault. They were gravely mistaken. In a horrifying turn of events, the massive predator surged forward once more, its determination unwavering. This time, its ferocious bite found its mark on Roberto's vulnerable neck, his head engulfed by the shark's cavernous jaws. A nightmarish scene unfolded as the relentless shark thrashed Roberto's lifeless body with merciless force, akin to a mere rag doll in its grasp. A gut-wrenching snap reverberated through the water, marking the heart-wrenching moment when Roberto's head was severed from his body. As life gave way to death, Roberto's now limp form began its descent into the depths of the water, a somber trail of crimson following from his tragically torn neck. The swiftness of the attack left the remaining divers in a state of shocked disbelief, immobilized by the unthinkable horror that had unfolded before their eyes. Seemingly overcoming his initial shock, Eduardo's survival instincts kicked in, propelling him into a frantic upward swim. However, the urgency of his movements didn't go unnoticed. They drew the attention of the lurking shark, which swiftly altered its course toward him. The enormous predator surged forward with unimaginable speed, closing the distance between itself and Eduardo in a matter of moments. In a horrifying déjà vu, the shark's maw clamped down on Eduardo, this time with even greater ferocity. The beast's razor-sharp teeth punctured Eduardo's neck, traversed through his shoulder, and devoured his heat entirely, leaving behind a gruesome scene. The water around them erupted once more as the shark writhed and thrashed, subjecting Eduardo's now limp form to a harrowing display of its power. The ensuing snap as bone and sinew gave way signaled the chilling end of the encounter. With his head severed from his body, Eduardo's lifeless form began its grim descent into the shadowy depths, carried downward by the very forces that had moments ago propelled him upward. With desperation propelling them, the two remaining members, Javier and Juan, initiated a frantic ascent towards the water's surface and the relative safety of the awaiting boat. Their struggle to reach the surface was a race against time, as the haunting presence of the pursuing shark loomed ever closer. The heart-pounding chase culminated when the relentless predator drew near, its immense form surging through the water. In a horrifying twist, the shark's deadly maw found its mark on Javier's leg, sinking its teeth into his flesh. Amidst the chaos, muffled screams escaped Javier's mouth, only to be swallowed by the vast expanse of the ocean's depths. Trapped in a nightmarish scenario, Juan bore witness to his friend's agony. The urge to intervene battled with the instinct of self-preservation, and in the harrowing bid for survival, the latter prevailed. Overwhelmed by the chilling reality of the moment, Juan pressed on toward the sanctuary of the boat, casting a final anguished gaze back at Javier. As he reached the vessel's relative safety, Juan's gaze locked onto the scene unfolding underneath him. The shark's savagery was unrelenting. It tore through Javier's limb with an unyielding force, followed by another gruesome act as it once again claimed a life. In a cruel twist of fate, the predator's voracious appetite ended Javier's struggle, consuming him in the same horrific manner as his fallen comrades. Upon reaching the safety of the boat, Juan wasted no time and swiftly initiated a distress call to emergency services. The urgency in his voice conveyed the gravity of the situation and the need for immediate assistance. After what felt like an agonizingly long hour, the authorities finally arrived on the scene. Their arrival marked a glimmer of hope amidst the tragedy that had unfolded. With a mixture of relief and sadness, they escorted Juan to safety, offering him a chance to escape the nightmarish waters that had claimed his companions. The ensuing hours saw a painstaking search effort unfold, driven by a grim determination to account for the missing divers. However, the outcome was a macabre one. The search yielded only the gruesome remains of the three divers. The shark's merciless rampage had left behind nothing but mangled carcasses, each one bearing the grisly mark of decapitation. Despite surviving the harrowing ordeal, Juan's escape came at a heavy cost. The haunting memories of the attack would forever linger, etching a traumatic scar on his psyche. The weight of what he had witnessed and endured would accompany him through the remainder of his days, a testament to the indelible impact that the ocean's relentless power can leave on the human soul. Amidst the sun-kissed allure of Isla Guadalupe, a haven for romantic getaways and adventurers alike, a young couple, Alex Duval and Mia Woods, find themselves basking in the splendor of their honeymoon. This idyllic island, nestled in the cerulean embrace of the Pacific Ocean, is renowned for its captivating blend of tourism and natural wonders. As the couple strolls along the pristine shores, the charm of Isla Guadalupe's tourism scene unfolds before them. Luxurious resorts line the coastline, offering a harmonious fusion of comfort and tranquility. The air is alive with a sense of excitement, as visitors from around the world converge to experience the island's unique offerings, Colorful markets brim with local crafts, enticing aromas waft from quaint seaside eateries, and the warm hospitality of the locals adds a touch of authenticity to every interaction. Yet, Isla Guadalupe holds more than just the promise of leisurely exploration. The waters surrounding the island are home to a majestic and awe-inspiring inhabitant, the great white shark. These apex predators gracefully navigate the ocean depths, captivating divers and researchers who are drawn to witness their enigmatic presence up close. For Alex and Mia, their honeymoon in the island is a harmonious blend of romance and adventure as they indulge in the island's offerings. In the initial days of their trip, the couple found themselves immersed in the beauty of the beaches and the captivating sights that embraced the area. Yet, a yearning for a more thrilling adventure began to take root within them. Eager to infuse their honeymoon with excitement, they made a decision that would lead them to an unforgettable experience. Driven by their desire for a new and exhilarating escapade, the couple decided to sign up for a spearfishing excursion. This promised to be an adventure that would not only satisfy their craving for excitement but also allow them to explore the depths of the ocean in a unique way. With anticipation bubbling within them, they eagerly embarked on the next phase of their honeymoon. Gathered with a small group of fellow tourists and under the guidance of an experienced dive guide, they set foot on a compact boat that would be their vessel for this daring endeavor. The guide, a seasoned expert, steered the boat towards a remote area that held the promise of crystal-clear waters and an abundance of aquatic life. The anticipation in the air was palpable as the boat cut through the waves, each passing moment bringing them closer to the heart of their adventure. Arriving at the chosen location, the water shimmered with an inviting clarity, revealing a world beneath the surface that was teeming with vibrant marine life. Clad in their bright-colored diving suits, masks, and fins, Alex and Mia stood ready, their spears in hand, poised for an underwater adventure unlike any other. As they prepared to take the plunge into the depths, the guide's voice carried over the gentle lapping of the waves, offering final safety instructions to ensure a secure and exhilarating experience. With a shared sense of excitement, the couple took the leap, breaking the surface of the water and descending into the mesmerizing world below. The guide led the way, a beacon of knowledge in this uncharted territory, demonstrating the art of underwater hunting. Alex and Mia followed in close pursuit, their curiosity and enthusiasm driving them forward. Their excitement, however, was soon met with a realization. They were not alone in this aquatic pursuit. Amidst their exploration and the thrill of the hunt, a formidable presence had been silently observing. A great white shark, driven by both hunger and curiosity, had been tailing the boat for some time. Enticed by the splashing and the scent of blood from the fish that tourists have speared, the shark decided to venture closer, compelled by the promise of a potential meal. In that fateful moment, the great white shark's attention fixated upon Alex. Gripping a large tuna on his spear, Alex's unwitting action seemingly triggered a tragic misperception within the shark's primal instincts. It was as if the predator, shrouded in the watery shadows, had mistakenly identified Alex as a rival. With astonishing speed, the shark surged forward from the ocean's depths, its streamlined form a blur as it homed in on its target. In a single ferocious motion, the predator's jaws snapped shut with brutal force, severing Alex's head from his body. The waters that had once been a realm of vibrant life were instantly transformed into a swirling crimson tide as blood diffused, casting an eerie hue upon the scene. Having claimed its grim prize, the shark's aggression showed no signs of waning. The lifeless remains of Alex became the focus of its relentless onslaught. In a frenzy of primal instinct, the shark tore into the body, voraciously consuming chunks of flesh and bone. The water bore witness to this gruesome scene as the shark's powerful movements thrashed the dead man's carcass with savage intent. Mia's reverie shattered as the series of splashes erupted around her. Instinctively she turned, her gaze locking onto the source of the commotion. What met her eyes was a horrifying scene. Alex's lifeless body, headless, mauled by the savage predator in the same water as her. Shock and horror gripped Mia, rendering her motionless. The unthinkable had transpired before her eyes, and she stood frozen in the face of the harrowing reality that had unfolded. Around her, the other divers and the guide also bore witness to the gruesome scene, their expressions mirrored in a shared disbelief. Urgency prevailed as the divers and the guide reacted to the impending danger. With a collective burst of frantic movement, they swam with desperate determination back to the safety of the boat. Voices carried across the water, urgently pleading for Mia to follow suit, to escape the lurking threat. But the shock held her in its merciless grip, leaving her paralyzed in the face of the incomprehensible tragedy. Finally breaking free from the grip of shock, Mia's survival instincts kicked in. Panic fueled her actions as she thrashed through the water towards the sanctuary of the boat. The splashes created by her frenzied movements echoed her frantic state, reverberating through the water as if a distress signal to any within earshot. The great white shark, its predatory instincts keenly attuned to the tumultuous waters, zeroed in on the splashes. With a burst of incredible speed, it closed the distance between them in the blink of an eye. With a horrifying lunge, the shark's immense form closed the remaining distance between them. In a horrifying instant, it seized Mia by the leg, its powerful jaws clamping down with a vice-like grip. The force of its attack propelled her downward, deeper into the unforgiving depths, as her panicked struggle became a desperate fight for survival against an adversary driven by primal instinct. As the grim events unfolded, the guide's urgency propelled him back to the safety of the boat, where he urgently reached out for assistance. Tragically, his efforts were in vain, arriving too late to save Alex and Mia from the horrors that had unfolded in the unforgiving sea. The arrival of rescue forces brought a glimmer of hope, but the stark reality soon became painfully evident. There were no signs of life amidst the waters that had once beckoned with adventure. The ocean's expanse remained eerily void of human presence, a haunting testament to the swift and brutal power of the predator that had emerged from its depths. With the authorities taking charge, a comprehensive search was initiated in an attempt to piece together the fragments of the tragic incident. The outcome was a chilling discovery. Alex's decapitated body was retrieved from the depths, a heart-wrenching confirmation of the unthinkable fate he had suffered. Yet Mia's remains remained elusive, swallowed by the abyss that had claimed her. In the wake of the tragedy, survivors grappled with the profound trauma that the incident had inflicted upon them. The survivors' hearts and minds bore witness to the horrifying spectacle, an experience that left an indelible mark on their psyche. Many among them, their sense of safety shattered, pledged to never again venture into the ocean's embrace. It was the year 2005. And the radiant sun hung high in the cerulean sky over Maui, Hawaii. On the picturesque beaches of this tropical paradise, two college friends from San Francisco, Timmy Rutherford and Ronnie Bennett, were basking in the warmth of the sandy haven. Graduation had finally arrived, and they decided to embark on a memorable vacation to celebrate their journey into adulthood. Maui, with its stunning beaches and crystalline waters, stood as the perfect backdrop for their adventure. Yet beneath the postcard-perfect surface, a lurking danger existed, the realm of the elusive and fearsome tiger sharks. These apex predators, known for their propensity to remain hidden in the depths, introduced an unsettling layer of unpredictability to the otherwise tranquil surroundings. During their stay on the island, Timmy and Ronnie immersed themselves in a diverse range of exhilarating activities. They skillfully conquered the waves on their surfboards, engaged in good-natured beach volleyball matches, experienced the thrill of riding jet skis that gracefully danced upon the undulating waves, and embraced the festive ambiance of beach parties that extended into the enchanting starlit nights. On their fifth and final day in Maui, seeking a new experience, the duo decided to venture into the ocean on a kayaking adventure. While Timmy had spent his childhood kayaking and was no stranger to the waters, Ronnie was a novice eager to test his skills on the open sea. Renting a tandem kayak, the two friends donned life vests and set off around 8 in the morning. The ocean that day was a tranquil expanse of blue, its surface a canvas of calm ripples. Paddling out to the open water, Timmy and Ronnie marveled at the beauty surrounding them. The activity was smooth and enjoyable, with the gentle lapping of the water against their kayak as their only companion. An hour into their adventure, as they decided to turn back towards the shore, an unseen presence stirred beneath them. A 10-foot tiger shark, its sleek form almost invisible beneath the waves, detected the vibrations and splashes emanating from the kayak's movements. The shark's predatory instincts were aroused, and it interpreted the kayak as potential prey, ripe for the taking. Propelled by a sudden burst of speed, the tiger shark surged forth from the depths, its massive form hurtling toward the water's surface with astonishing force. In a heart-stopping moment, it made contact with the kayak, the collision lifting the vessel from its watery cradle, toppling it over into the water. The tremendous impact sent shockwaves through the vessel, leaving both Timmy and Ronnie in a state of disorientation as they were abruptly plunged into the unforgiving seas. Their life vests, serving as steadfast buoys, proved to be their sole lifeline, allowing them to remain afloat amid the chaotic upheaval. As the salt waters stung their eyes, they called out to each other amidst the chaos. Timmy, struggling to regain his bearings, witnessed a chilling sight. A distinctive dorsal fin slicing through the surface, moving directly toward Ronnie. Panic-stricken, Timmy screamed a desperate warning to his friend, pointing towards the advancing fin. Ronnie, however, was slow to react, his movements hindered by the disorientation of their sudden capsizing. In the blink of an eye, the tiger shark launched itself from the depths with astonishing speed. Its powerful jaws opened wide, revealing a terrifying array of razor-sharp teeth, as it locked onto Ronnie's shoulders with a bone-chilling crunch. A scream of agony escaped Ronnie's lips as the shark's teeth sunk deep into his flesh, tearing through skin and muscle with ruthless ease. He fought back valiantly, delivering punches in desperation. But the creature's violent thrashing only worsened his plight. The water turned crimson as his blood mingled with the salty sea. With wide eyes, Timmy watched helplessly as the frenzied struggle unfolded before him. Ronnie's futile attempts to break free were no match for the shark's relentless power. Within moments, the waters that had been a battleground grew calm, and Ronnie's lifeless body floated suspended by his life vest, amid a gruesome scene of violence. Clenching his jaw in despair, Timmy's body moved on autopilot. Adrenaline pumping, he swam with frenzied determination towards the overturned kayak, his mind locked on one goal: survival. The water between him and the horrific scene of his friend's demise remained an eerie, churning void, but he dared not look back. At last, Timmy made it to the kayak's upturned hull, pulling himself onto it with a determined effort. Looking back at the place where the tragedy had unfolded, his eyes widened in a blend of shock and horror. The sea that had been teeming with life now held a grisly scene. The tiger shark, in a feeding frenzy with its successful assault, relentlessly tore into Ronnie's remains with ruthless precision. Tears blurred Timmy's vision as he paddled away from the ghastly spectacle, his heart heavy with the weight of loss and survival guilt. Thoughts of facing the shark's wrath gnawed at his mind, but to his amazement, the creature showed no interest in pursuing him. Its appetite satiated, it continued its brutal feast on Ronnie's mangled remains. At the shoreline, Timmy's urgent cries for assistance cut through the air, prompting a swift response from a multitude of emergency personnel. Hastening to the location, the authorities encountered a scene marked by tragedy. Ronnie's mangled remains were immediately retrieved and brought to shore. As soon as Timmy saw what happened to his friend, he was brought down to his knees amidst the agony and pain of regret. As time went on, Timmy would carry the traumatic memory of that fateful day with him. The vivid image of his friend's struggle against a relentless predator, the crimson-stained waters, and the unrelenting violence would forever be etched in his mind. And as he moved forward with his life, he would often find himself haunted by the chilling realization that in the depths of paradise, even the most serene waters could transform into a deadly abyss.